Hello everyone and welcome to another Unity C Sharp tutorial by the crazy Unity Tunes channel. Here of course we are so crazy, we do things crazily. Today we are going to carry out another experiment. No, not necessarily an experiment, it's a tutorial, and I'm going to show you guys the difference between we're going to show you guys the difference between a correlation, a trigger, and an effector. We are going to be doing this using a platform that I'm going to create for this particular tutorial. So first of all, right click and create a new empty object, and you can call it platform or whatever. I'm too lazy to type anything, so I'll just leave it that way. And so now that we've created an empty game object and positioned it any way we want, you can even position it in the player if you want. I don't give it them, it's up to you. So now that we are now done with it, I'm going to be using a free tile set to create the platform for this. So open a free tile set, my tiles, and then um I don't know, I'll probably decide whether I'll leave the link for this free tile set or not. But if you want it, you can go to open game arts and just type free tile sets, you'll find it. I know you guys are good at typing because you're able to type very well to find this video, so you'll be able to type to find this one too. So when we'll drag it into the hierarchy, and then the next thing we'll now do is to now create a platform. So we'll arrange it nicely like this, and now that we are done with that, next thing we are now going to do is that we're going to click on it, and then we'll add a box collider to it. So we'll click on it and add box collider. Oh crap, I don't have to type everything. Box collider. I think for the next Unity update, they should add some sort of mind reading system so that they can know exactly what we are trying to search for. It's a pain trying to type all these things. So if you want to edit the collider, just click on this edit collider, and using the four corners, just um you know make it look nice and more of a box collider. So now that we're done with that, um let's click on our player and add a box collider to her. So add a component box collider. Wow, Unity read my mind. A box collider to the player. And what this box collider basically does is that because we have a rigid body attached to our player, the box collider works in conjunction with the physics system of the rigid body. And when you get in contact with any other object or asset or whatever in the scene that has a box collider attached to it, the rigid body system would prevent you from going through it. So the rigid body and the box collider work hand in hand. So usually if you're using the box collider, you usually require a rigid body component attached, because the two work hand in hand. They are like I don't know, Taka and Jackie Chan in that movie, yeah, Rush Hour or whatever, or Scooby Doo and Shaggy. Oh, what the hell fuck am I doing? I almost lost. Alright, so now that we're now done with that, and now let's now actually begin this tutorial. So now, on the game object, you can see that we have a trigger used by Effector. We are going to focus on these two for this tutorial. Let's forget about the used by composites and the auto tiling. Those ones are for another thing altogether. I would get to that in another tutorial. So now let's now try playing the game and see. Let's play the game, and we can see that when we try to run through this, we are not going to be able to go through. That's because the rigid body component is making sure that as the two box colliders are colliding, the player can move through because of the rigid body component, so that it looks more like a real life thing. I mean, you can run through a wall, right? If you could run through a wall, I'll definitely run through the wall of KFC or McDonald's and grab me a big bucket of chicken, but can't run through walls, so that sucks. So that's how the collider component works. Now let's now look at the trigger component. If we should enable the is trigger, and while the game is running, if we should enable the trigger, and now we can now run through this. So basically what trigger allows us to do is to run through game objects that we wouldn't otherwise be able to run through. And the purpose of this, I know you guys will be like, why the fuck would you want to run through it? Yeah, I know, I also thought the same thing as first, but the purpose of this is that when you're creating a game, you can create a door and then you put a trigger on it, and you put a box collider around the door, and then you make it a trigger, so that the player can basically like run through the door, and then when when he triggers the box collider of the door, probably it can load in another scene or something. I mean, you don't want to get to a door in your game and then you run and hit the door and you're like, what the fuck? He just ran into the door, like ran into. You want to run through the door, not into the door. Yeah. So I guess probably the trigger was introduced to correct that grammatical confusion or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, so that's what the trigger can be used for. Now let's now look at the effector. If we should check the used by effector, you can see that we get some sort of funny error. This collider will not function until at least one to the effector, blah blah blah. So in order to do that, in order to get rid of this annoying um, sign that is supposed to be on the road, we would click on add components and then we would add if an effector. So we'll add a platform effector. So we'll add an effector called a platform effector. We have different types of effectors: area effector, buoyancy effector, platform effector, point effector, etc. Let's just add a platform effector. That's what we need. Now that we've added a platform effector, you can see that we have this sort of protractor looking thing. It looks like, I don't know. What do you guys think it is? A bull. Um, um, Something weird. Okay, I'll go with the protractor. So now let's now try playing the game and see. Now with the effector on, let's now run through. You can see that the player is still running into it. So you guys are like, what the hell? Like, what's the difference between an effector and a normal collider? There's a very big difference. You can, when you look in the effector, you can see that we have something called surface arc. Um, the surface arc is currently 180 degrees, so it makes it look more like a protractor. Let's now change the surface arc to, let's say, 150 degrees. And now let's now play the game, and you see that now let's now run through it. You can see that you can run through it. Oh god, I just predicted the future again. So you can see that we are running through it. Yeah. And you see that when we change the value, the size of our arc reduced and it looks like it went up a little, and because of that we're able to what, run through it. So basically, the effector gives us the ability to be able to switch between triggering and normal correlation. But what is the real purpose of the effector? What is the real use? What can you really use it for that makes it different from all the other forms of properties of a box collider? Let's see. So what we can do is that, let's play the game and let me show you something. So when we try playing the game now, you can see that with the 150 degrees you can run through. But now let's now run into it. Stand here. And now let me now click switch to the scene view. And now let me click on the player. And now with the we select the move tool to be able to control the transform of the player. And now we now drag the player up. And now let's now leave the player. And let's now set the player's gravity scale to 1. Consider when the gravity scale is set to 1, the player literally like falls and stands on it. So basically what this means is that with the effector, you can run through an object, an object, you can pass through it and do all those oh crap, you can run through an object and do all those crazy things you want to do. You can run through the platform, but you can also jump through it and stand on it. So that's very good for video games that you create a platform and you don't want the platform to get in the player's way. So when you move it this way, when you jump and then you are landing, gravity skill sets back to 1. The player literally just stands on it. Isn't that just so cool? So you can run through it and jump through it and stand on it. Cool. I wish we had like a floor like that, like, you know, in your home you could just jump through the building and go upstairs without hitting your head, getting a few bumps, concoctions and stuff like that. Anyway, so now with that done, let's now look at this. If we should disable the effector and take out our platform effector, now let's now try this with trigger and see. If we should check the trigger box, and now let's run through the platform and see what happens. We can run through just like with the effector. Now let's now see this. If we should select, go back to the scene and select our player and move the player up, set our gravity scale to 1, and boom, the player falls through. So you can see that with an effector, depending on the angle you set it to, you can run through, move through and stand on it. But with the trigger, a trigger will always be a trigger. It's just there to trigger. Yeah. So basically that's the difference between the three. I hope you guys have learned something new and you guys have gotten a few ideas to incorporate into your video games, and I hope to see you guys in another tutorial. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in another tutorial. I'm out.